One of my biggest weaknesses is I like hate the idea that someone could be better than me. There's like some like part of me that just like thinks like I can beat anybody.
In 2008, American Dan Cates opened an account on Full Tilt Poker with the screen name Jungleman12. It's now 2012, and he's up more than $7 million. But when Full Tilt Poker was shut down in 2011, Cates said he had 80% of his entire bankroll stuck on the site. And since he was living in the US on Black Friday, he's still waiting to see if he'll get it back. Now Jungleman travels the world playing poker, and we met him in Malta for episode 5 of Easy Game.
Well, I first got into poker playing like with my friends during like lunch breaks. They didn't want to play competitively, and I'm like the kind of person who, if I get into something, I'm like really obsessed about it. There's a game like some guys were locally playing. They saw me as a chance to make money off of me, and so they took me for a lot of money, and they also were they weren't good sports. Let's put it that way. They humiliated me. They cheated me sometimes, apparently. I remember one guy like called me a retard on occasion. I was really bad at poker at that time. He was just like really arrogant towards me, and he was like one of the honest ones. I eventually moved to play online, thank God, and I started playing lower stakes, and I just like, within like 2 weeks I started winning online poker, and from there I gradually moved up and up and up, and eventually reached like some of the highest stakes.
2 of diamonds, let's see if Ivy's spidey sense is tingling.
All in.
It's not, he goes all in. Cates calls, that means Phil Ivy is eliminated. Lights out.
Well done. Good jam. Thank you.
Extremely early exit for one of poker's premier players.
That's all she wrote. So where do I go?
I think that what helped me rise through the stakes was being really, really critical of myself, actually, or being really, really objective about what were the necessary changes to make. One habit that I had when I was playing was I'd often take like detailed notes on my opponents, like how they played exactly. I didn't really particularly care to like impress anybody or anything like that. I just wanted to do whatever was necessary to win. This is the point where like my like knowledge of poker like solidified. Like I started coming up with my own theories and shit. Soon enough, I was up to like almost getting close to my first million. There was a point in which I like thought, wow, I actually made $1 million from this. Oh, it was also at this point that I first played a Silder at 2550. No one knew who he was at the time, and it didn't work out so well. Let's put it that way. I beat him at 2050, but when he like completely wrecked me at 100, 200, I lost like half my roll. That was like one of the only times I've ever like cried, if only for a second. So watching my roll go from like 900 something thousand to like 450 or whatever it was. I was like really upset, and then like the next day I like get back on and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna grind it out. Then I lose like another 100K. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm a little bit disconnected with my family to some extent. I mean, they're of course happy for me at this point. They're just like, do your own thing. And as for my friends, they can hardly believe it. The opportunities that I've gotten from poker have like really benefited my social life and given me more like experience and stuff in the real world. Met many different people in many different places, seen many things. For a long time, I didn't really understand how to like make friends, or like was really shy or whatever. It's my issue. Like I was super in my head. Like I was definitely a weird kid. I'd always like sit by myself at lunch. Or I remember in like middle school, I'd sit on the bench of the park. I didn't want to play because I just didn't think it was fun. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, I was fucking crazy.
In the fall of 2010, Cates accepted a high-stakes challenge from Tom Dwan. Dwan put up $1.5 million to Jungleman's 500K to see who would come out on top in 50,000 hands of heads-up, no-limit hold'em. The winner after 50,000 hands would not only take the side bet money, but also whatever profit they managed to grind out.
I was putting like part of my efforts for my life on the line, in a way. Like, because I played poker for years, and like, it's a huge thing for me to be able to win this challenge. It's kind of huge if I lose it. So like, something that I was really intent on winning. It's actually late in the night, and I'm like a little bit sleep deprived. This whole time I'm just like waiting eagerly to get this other chance to play him, because I really think like so far he's gotten lucky, and he just like shouldn't be able to beat me if I keep playing. So I go back, get back online, and I start killing him. And I think I beat him for like 400 or 350,000 first match. And then he eventually sits out because his account's low. And then we play a bunch of other matches, and then I just keep killing him and killing him. Like I win like almost like 80% of the matches or 75% of the matches or something. And then now to this day I'm up like 1.2-ish million, and around this time like a lot of things go well for me. I'm starting to beat like Phil Ivey and Patrick Antonius at 501k, and I'm just beating everybody at the highest stakes. I won a ton of money off Zygmunt, for example, who I thought was kind of fishy. At this point, I'm just going on like this ridiculous heater and just beating everybody, all the best in the world, etc. By the end of 2010, I mean, it's like kind of recorded, but I win like 5.5 million or something completely ridiculous. Everything seems to be going pretty well.